All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. We're just doing a budget training session this evening where I believe last week we met and we decided to kick off the budget season. And Alicia has been very diligently mailing out all of the templates to everyone, and along with those templates was two other items, which was this PowerPoint presentation, the power of communication, as well as a schedule. So let's go ahead and start with the schedule. The schedule I put together, it started with me sending an email asking our Dee Dee when she needed the warrant by. And then I felt that we have some new members, budget committee members here as well. So I just wanted to give every department head the opportunity to come and address the budget committee, as well as the budget committee to ask any questions that they may have on your budget. So instead of springing people at the last minute saying, hey, can you come in next Thursday? I felt it was best just to try to put a schedule together. If you can't make it on the night, we will do our best to accommodate you. But as you can see from the schedule, we start on the 5th, or the 5th, right after Labor Day, and we have one or two people coming in every night to talk about their budgets with the committee. We have some challenges this year with holidays. We're not going to meet on Halloween. That's a scheduled night. We're not going to meet the day after Thanksgiving or the day after Christmas. Again, those are just holidays that fall in the normal calendar. And I think it would be very difficult. We see a lot of people take vacations, not only for you yourselves, but also for us as the budget committee member. A lot of people take between Christmas and New Year's off. We also found that last year we were very rushed, and we made mistakes because of that. So we want to take the time to do that due diligence and address everybody's questions, give us the chance to ask you questions, and go through that. So I encourage you to look at this schedule. Let me know as soon as possible if you can't be here on that night and what nights you are available, and I will do my best to reschedule you. Any questions or concerns on the schedule that you've seen? Nope? Okay. So the next item that we're going to go over is the PowerPoint presentation that got mailed with the templates as well. This was kind of a instruction booklet on how we would like the templates completed for you. The templates have not changed really. They're the very same templates that you have been getting now for a couple of years. The template lists the items that you currently have in your budget, right? Then what section 1 would be your request for the 2025 for those items that you have in your budget. Section 2 is any new things. And can I pick on the treasurer just for a second? Because I think we used Euro as the template. But she doesn't have contracted services. Let's say Julie decides that she wants to implement a PO system here in the town of Limerick, and she needs a contractor to come in and help set up that in Trio. That would go here, because we would need to set up a new general ledger account so that when that expense came in, we knew where to put that. So we would say contracted services, maybe a little bit of an explanation as to what you're doing for that. And then that would alert us to know that this is a new line item. We may need a new general ledger account, and we can work with Julie to set that up. The other change that is explained in this packet is the COLA. As you can see from the schedule, we have a very busy time. They don't release the COLA number until mid-October. So what we're going to do is fill that in for you with the board, whatever that COLA is. So if you want to give someone a merit increase in addition to the COLA, I'm going to ask that you put that in section 2 so that we know that, okay? And the board needs to approve that merit increase outside of the COLA. We can approve the COLA as the budget committee because was voted on by the taxpayers to follow the COLA. But if there's anything additional, that needs to be approved by the Board of Selectmen, okay? The third section of the template is capital. So what would you like to see done for improvements in your area? We may have a capital improvement account already established, we may not. So these come with a little bit more discussion around funding. They come with a little bit more discussion around whether or not we have a capital account, because we may have to write an article that says we have to establish the account before we can agree to fund it. So there's little bit more research. The other thing is everyone has capital requests. We need to put a priority to those capital requests because we may not be able to fund every single one of them. So this also requires a discussion with the select board to say, what are the town's priorities and which capital projects take precedence and which ones do we need to set aside for another possible funding year? So those are really the three main parts of the template. And all of that is described and explained to you in the subsequent pages. Like I said, column 1, it gives you a definition here, tells you about that. The COLA percentage, it tells you that it's going to come out about 10-10 and that we will fill that in for you. Column 2 is the additional operational request. Like I said, if you have something that's not already in the line item on your template, it would go into section 2. And then column 3 is your capital projects request. So it's just a little bit more verbiage for you, some explaining as to how we would like the process followed. Any questions or concerns about the template or what we have asked of any of the department heads or the selectmen? Podium, please. Go.
Just a comment about the COLA. I know when I was in industry before I retired, we used to use the August COLA numbers, so we would have an answer a little sooner. So that might be something to consider if there's
Yeah, we'd have
in
to.
the future.
I'd have to look at the article to see. I just think it says follows the COLA. I'd have to read the article to see which one. But the true number comes out in October 10th, and that's the one we've historically followed.
Right, just a
So,
thought.
just a thought. Thank you, Cindy.
So my question is, if we're not going to give a merit raise and we're just going to go with the COLA, what do we put in that budget line? Just what they're getting now?
What they're getting now. Yep, and then we will go ahead and fill in that increase when we know the number.
All right.
Julianne, I think you had a question.
Last year, we consolidated quite a bit in my budget. Under contracted services, under professional. The only problem that I ran into is that after town meeting, the treasurer, well, Laura, she was working with Julie, didn't change the numbers, didn't change the numbers.
In the general ledger. Okay.
So when stuff started coming in that was coded, I was using this code, and they were using the old code, and it messed up everything. So as we found mistakes, I went to Julie, and we
Corrected them?
We corrected it. So I don't know if any of the other departments have had the same problem, but.
So are you thinking that maybe we should go back to breaking, I think we put door to door, we put, what else? Did we put tipping fees? And we put another thing under contract. Those were separate articles, right?
They're separate articles.
Okay.
They're separate
So what did we put under contracted services that we put together? Do you remember?
Yeah. Under contracted services, tipping fees to Coleman, hauling, R.W. Herrick, recycling, MRRA, those are all under contracted services. And under professional, heavy-duty equipment, specialized services, advertising.
Okay.
So
So,
it's altogether different than prior years.
So do you want, are you asking or requesting to break those back out again? No, you want them?
I want to leave it this way.
You want to leave it, so then you would just leave it that way, and I think what we should do on the green sheet is maybe for you, list the contractors that you may use under contracted services.
We could do that.
And then
It's
under
the same.
professional services, because the green sheets stay in our budget folder, so Julie could actually refer back to them if she had a question.
Yeah.
So that if she gets an invoice from Eco Maine, she could say, oh, this goes under contracted services versus professional services.
Well, we got that all straightened out now, but in the beginning, it was impossible, because I was using this and she was using the old one, because
Right. But
Laura
we-
did change the salaries, the payroll,
The payroll.
but she never changed anything else.
Okay.
After town meeting.
So it just might be a little bit where you need to insert a line in your template to actually list those contractors.
Yeah.
So that way, we can pull that up, or Julie can pull this up as a reference sheet.
Yeah.
If she gets an invoice for that.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns? Cindy, go ahead.
So a couple of years ago, when everything was combined to make when we started voting by secret ballot, the library and the rec department were combined.
Yep.
Can we separate them?
That would be a question for the select board, because that is their warrant on how they present that to the people.
Okay.
Any questions from the select board on the timing? You guys have a significant number of articles, and we need those back, fairly quickly. I believe workers' comp needs to wait until you get your final payroll numbers for the year. But anything as far as you guys meeting the deadlines set before you? Since I have 4 of you here.
Deal with it as it comes.
Okay, because the deadline's September 5th, Gil, so I just want to, make sure that you guys have enough time, and if we need to modify this, and give Alicia time as well, so. And you guys, and I just want to put out there, you can email me. My email address is on the town website. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or your template's not adding up, Alicia and I have been pretty good with these templates, but you feel free to email me with any questions that you may have, or that anybody has that's not here tonight. So, Wendy, go ahead.
Wendy Coleman, Charter Commission. So we are in the process of finalizing the charter. The warrant article went to Alicia for the board to review. It has been reviewed by the attorney to make sure that the verbiage is correct, which it is. One thing that this board needs to look at during the budget process is, if this passes in November, you're going to have to put together a budget for a town manager.
A
and
salary
how we're gonna
requirement,
move
yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
And if it's going, because the way the charter is written, the jobs of the treasurer, town clerk, and tax collector will expire at their normal range, so they'll still be in position. So are you going to need a manager at X amount of dollars versus to bringing them down to a lower dollar amount?
Yep.
Those are things to look at.
Yep, thank you. The other question, and I emailed Alicia, and I haven't caught up with all of the select board meeting, but are we going to be voting by secret ballot on the articles, or do we intend to have a town meeting on Saturday? Has that been decided?
We did the other night, we are gonna put that back on.
You're gonna put it back on to see if they wanna vote for secret ballot, okay. Just, the wording needs to be tweaked if we're not gonna put them on the ballot, so, okay. You guys have any questions or concerns? Nope. Okay, I will entertain, go ahead.
Nobody shows up.
If they don't submit a budget, we are going to use what they had last year. The only line item that will be increased is to give them the COLA increase if they're a salary. We unfortunately just don't have the time to wait. I mean, we are pretty jammed packed full based on this schedule.
And last year, we were still getting budgets in November and December, and
We were under a time crunch to do that. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
You may want to take into consideration when you do that COLA increase, if, if you have a budget that does not have payroll, you may want to look at that budget also and increase it along with the COLA, because vendors are going to be more than likely giving people raises also, so you want to incorporate that in there.
Yeah, and that's something we can look at, but the starting point will be with what they had in 2024.
Right,
And,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying, but with 2024, you're going to want to at least adjust it for inflation.
Yep.
But if you've got an excess balance left over,
If you've got an excess balance, I may not need to, and,
Yeah.
right. So that goes back to having time to look at your budget and analyze it.
Yeah.
Something that we really haven't had time to do in the previous timelines. Because we were, like, the team alluded to here, we were getting budgets on December 20th last year. And it was not a good thing.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
So when I was on the board in the budget committee, one thing that I can give to you to help you out so that you can see timeline over timeline, I do have back to, you don't want it back to 2005. I need.
No, I don't need it back.
But the last 3 or 4 years, I always kept track
Of the trends.
of the trend
Yep.
year over year, so that you could look at it and say, why are you up $200,000? And it makes it a lot easier when you're doing, because I'm the type that looks at final numbers. I'm looking at a
Right.
final number, I'm not getting into the minutia. So
Yeah,
I
that would be
I
very
get that-
helpful, I think.
I can get that
for the
for you. I
team.
still have it. I'll have to add probably 22 and 23 to it.
Yeah, and I have 23 and 24 already done, so, but yes, that would be very helpful, thank you. I think it's important for the rest of the committee here to see those trends and know that some of it's very explainable. All of it is actually, so. Any other items that anybody wishes to discuss or bring up? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
All right, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.